There's quite a big divide within Hindus as well. It's really BJP gets its highest support among the forward castes. Among the forward castes, BJP support is 59%, among OBCs 54%, but when it's Dalits and Adivasis, it comes down to 44%. So there's a caste divide also.
प्रणय, ये बीजेपी जब यहाँ पे आई थी तो उस समय तक ये माना जा रहा था कि यहाँ पे कोई कास्ट की पॉलिटिक्स नहीं होती है, लेकिन उन्होंने कहीं ना कहीं यूपी बिहार से थोड़ा बोरो किया और उन्होंने ओबीसी दलितों का एक तरह से उनको कंसोलिडेट करने की कोशिश की और जो राजवंशी कम्युनिटी है, मटुआ कम्युनिटी है, इनके बीच में उन्होंने रीच आउट किया और 2019 या 2021 दोनों का जो उनका सक्सेस है, इन दोनों कम्युनिटी के उनके लिए कंसोलिडेशन और अपर कास्ट जो एंटी टीएमसी वोट था, पहले वो लेफ्ट और कांग्रेस के साथ रहता था, जो शिफ्ट किया बीजेपी में। लेकिन हमने इस बार देखा खासकर नॉर्थ बंगाल में, वहाँ पे राजवंशी कम्युनिटी का काफ़ी ज़्यादा दबदबा है। कई सारे ऐसे असेंबली कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी हैं जहाँ पर उनका वोट परसेंटेज 40% तक है। लेकिन इधर के 2-3 सालों में ममता बनर्जी ने काफ़ी ज़्यादा रीच आउट किया है, उनके डिमांड्स को फुलफिल किया है, जिसके कारण इस बार उन कम्युनिटीज़ में कहीं ना कहीं बीजेपी का वोट बैंक जो कंसोलिडेशन था उसमें क्रैक दिख रहा था।
बीजेपी कुछ भी नहीं किया है राजवंशी लोगों के लिए। नारायणी बटालियन करने की कोशिश थी, ठीक है, कोशिश की थी, अभी तक नहीं हुआ है। लेकिन हमारा दीदी, हमारा सरकार नारायणी बटालियन किया है, जिसका सदर दफ्तर है मैकलीगंज में, और राजवंशी के लिए जो दीदी किया है, भाषा के लिए भाषा अकादमी किया है, स्कूल बनाया है, 200 राजवंशी स्कूल बनाया है, ठीक है, और राजवंशी डेवलपमेंट कल्चरल बोर्ड किया है, सारे कुछ किया है राजवंशी लोगों के लिए।
2019 में जितना वोट हम लोगों को मिला था उससे कई गुना ज़्यादा वोट जो है 2024 में मिला। लेकिन जिस तरह से कांग्रेस और टीएमसी, सीपीआईएम और बाकी पार्टी का वोट डाइल्यूट हुआ और उसके साथ साथ ब्यूरोक्रेटिक सबोटेज, इसके कारण से ही हम लोगों को यहाँ पर पराजित होना पड़ा। और लगभग जिस तरह से इन्फिल्ट्रेशन हुआ और घोस्ट वोटर बढ़ा, यानी 2019 और 2024 इस 5 साल में लगभग यहाँ पर मुस्लिम वोट का परसेंटेज जो है 15 से 16% वोट ज़्यादा इन लोगों का हो गया।
The Hindu vote also is not uniformly behind the BJP. The forward castes are hugely, the Adivasis and the scheduled castes are not, but the OBCs, they're interesting. They're not as much as the forward castes supporting the BJP, but still quite solid supporters. What's happening on that front? It's fairly complex there, right?
It is a very, very complex issue that has ended up in court. So it's a lot of legalese, and let's just cut through that. Basic point is what we saw in 2021 is the BJP's reach out to Matuas. Now, Matua is this community that has come in, Hindu community that has come in from Bangladesh to Bengal and settled in this place where they are concentrated and apparently influence the vote in anything but, anything up to 40 to 80 seats. So the BJP wooed them, they benefited, and now the battle has continued for that particular vote. That's where also OBCs have come in. 17% of everything is reserved for OBCs. A part of it is Muslim OBCs, part of it is Hindu OBCs, and that has caused confrontation and confusion because the High Court has struck down reservation for Muslims under OBC.
OBCs,
yes.
Which can be a huge issue in an election. We've seen it in other states.
Indeed.
Because of what's happening and all the them not getting their reservation, etc., are the Matuas a little angry and upset with the BJP? Is there any change?
See, the Matuas are upset and angry because they have been struck off the rolls and they have been given by the BJP the carrot of CAA for their citizenship. So if they want citizenship, they use CAA and they get citizenship, which could mean that they don't vote this time, but in future they will. That is a promise that the BJP has held out. The TMC is trying to undercut that very strongly. And so Matuas are a community out in, on
So
a
this
limb.
kind of change could affect these elections.
No, the problem with CAA is you have to again come with lots of documentation in order to get that. Now, To get that documentation, you have to go back to Bangladesh to get it, which, you know, some of them have moved here a generation, 2 generations ago. You don't have that documentation. And secondly, the process that has been followed so far has cleared very few people for this citizenship.
But the point is the definition of CAA. Muslims are Ghuspetia, as you have been saying, but Hindus coming in from Bangladesh are refugees and will be treated as such.
हमारा बॉर्डर स्टेट है, घुसपैठ हो रही है, आज नहीं 40 साल से आफ्टर पार्टीशन हो रही है, तो ये लोग तो हैं यहाँ, और जो हिंदू भी आए हैं उनके पास डॉक्यूमेंट्स नहीं है। हमने सीए में उनको बोला था रजिस्ट्रेशन करो, जो नहीं किया तो एलिजिबल नहीं है। ये नॉर्मल प्रोसेस में हुआ है, मुझे लगता है और भी ज़्यादा जाने वाले हैं।
Just staying with the religious divide in Bengal a little bit, just look at the electoral map. Don't look at the administrative map, look at the electoral map and how it is different. Highest concentration of Hindu, wherever you have a highest concentration of Hindus, the BJP dominates. Look at the high percentage Hindu areas. That's the north, the south central, 86% Hindus, the east, small area, 87% Hindus. And in these 3 areas, look at the north first. Out of the 43 seats, BJP gets 28. In the South Central, out of 35 seats, BJP got 27 out of 35. And in the East, out of 16 seats, BJP got 13. So wherever there's high Hindu concentration, BJP does well electorally, geographically. Now look at the areas where there's low concentration of Hindus. TMC dominates in areas where lower percentage of Hindus are in the population. Look at these areas, the whole central belt right down through Kolkata. Central areas, 73 seats, Hindus are just 56%, much lower than the all-state average. In the south, Hindus are 75%, and in southwest, very high percentage of Adivasis. So non-Adivasi population is only 66%. And look at how it manifests itself in terms of the electoral map. Look at the areas where TMC wins the most seats. The central area, TMC wins 67 out of the 73 seats. This is a high Muslim area and low on Hindus. And in the south, out of 101 seats, the TMC wins 98, the whole Calcutta and south. And then in the southwest, which is the most interesting and people haven't really focused on it enough, out of the 26 seats, the TMC won 25 seats. So Dora, we work together on these electoral maps rather than administrative maps. That's the way to look at elections, right? And
yes.
What a difference it makes.
Yeah, we need to draw electoral regions rather than administrative regions because they reflect the voting patterns of the population and the religious patterns and the caste patterns of the population.
Right. So did you find this Hindu-Muslim divide in the people you talked to, Shikha?
In terms of the parties, they felt that if there were more Muslim parties standing for contesting this time, it would split the vote. For instance, the Indian Secular Force,
where you visited, yeah,
which was launched around 2021 elections, they won 1 seat. This time they are in partnership with, they're contesting in partnership with the CPIM. And it's a troubled partnership, but they are contesting along with the CPIM.
But did you find, Manish, that actually Bengal, they're all living together happily, there's no real daily animosity and violence. Is that changing?
समाज में एक टेंशन तो है, समाज में तनाव तो पिछले 10 सालों में खासकर जब से बीजेपी आई है एक तनाव बढ़ा। उसका मैं आपको एक एग्जांपल देता हूं कि जब हम नॉर्थ बंगाल में थे तो रामनवमी का फेस्टिवल आया था और रामनवमी के फेस्टिवल में हम काफ़ी बीजेपी के लोगों के साथ ही बैठे थे। जिस प्रकार से आक्रामक रूप से तलवार लेके और भी दूसरे फायर आर्म्स लेके लोग प्रदर्शन कर रहे थे और रामनवमी को भी ऐसे वन डे मैच की तरह होता है, लेकिन वहाँ पर 3 दिन 4 दिन तक मनाया जा रहा था। तो कुछ बीजेपी के सपोर्टर्स ने बोला कि ये हमारा कल्चर नहीं है, हमारे यहाँ तो एक पूजा होती है। नहीं, वो बीजेपी के सपोर्टर्स।
I met a lot of people who said they're bringing North Indian festivals here. What is this?
दूसरी बात,
so does it work against them? Again, the outsiders.
थोड़ा सा एक सपोर्टर्स है, बीजेपी के सपोर्टर्स में एक डिवीजन होता है कि यहाँ पे जो आउटसाइडर्स जो हैं, जो बीजेपी की पॉलिटिक्स के लिए बीजेपी अभी भी बहुत सारे लोगों को बाहर से लाके उनको टर्म्स डिक्टेट करता है, उनको पॉलिटिक्स सिखाने की कोशिश करता है।
BJP also about outsiders coming in.
বিজেপি সরকার যেটা করছে ধর্মের সুরসুরি দিয়ে ভোট কাটার চেষ্টা করছে, মানে উন্নয়নের তাগিদে ওরা ভোট নিচ্ছে না, ওরা ধর্মের সুরসুরি দিয়ে ভোটটা নিচ্ছে। এই পরিপ্রেক্ষিতে আমাদের এই নিয়ে পশ্চিমবাংলায় যে একটা সম্প্রীতির বাতাবরণ ছিল, সেই সম্প্রীতির বাতাবরণ এই বিজেপি নষ্ট করে দিচ্ছে। আমরা চাই একসঙ্গে এই পশ্চিমবাংলায় একসঙ্গে সবাই মিলেমিশে থাকবো, উন্নয়নের জায়গায় হবে, উন্নয়নের তারিখে ভোট হবে, যে যেই উন্নয়ন করবে সেই ভোটটাতেই পার্সেন্টেজ বেশি হবে, কিন্তু ধর্মের সুরসুরি দিয়ে ভোট করা যায় না।
The issue right now, I think, is more about Bengali identity and how one party is clearly seen as an outsider party coming to Bengal who are trying to isolate the Bengali identity and taking the focus away from Bengalis. Of late, as we have seen a lot of mainstream Indian cultural festivities that were not a part of Bengal have been projected here. That we have
Ram Navami.
like Ram Navami and all.
Like, I don't see any of the parties as like good in a sense, but like one party is more evil and the other one is like less evil.
There is a big difference between the internal politics of West Bengal as well as the external politics of the entirety of the country, because the mentalities are completely different and the problems are completely different.
ऐसी शोभा यात्रा रामनवमी की हमने कभी पहले नहीं देखी। राम सीता बने हुए हैं, राधा कृष्ण बने हुए हैं, सब कुछ बने हुए हैं, सब कुछ निकलता था यहाँ से, पर पहले कभी आज तक ऐसी कोई बात ही नहीं हुई। ईद में भी वहाँ पर देखिए किला बगान में बड़ा बड़ी से ईद भी मनाया जाता है, और बड़तला बड़ा बाजार में बड़ी शोभा यात्रा भी निकलती थी रामनवमी की। कोई ऐसा बात ही नहीं था कभी आज तक, पहले कभी नहीं हुआ। अब पंजाबी बिरादरी वाले रावण भी जलाते थे, रामलीला होती थी, कोई बात ही नहीं हुआ ऐसा, कभी आज तक नहीं ऐसे हुआ, पर अब हो रहा है।
ধর্মের নামে ঘৃণা যে দলই ছড়াচ্ছে সেটা বন্ধ হোক। আমরা ঘৃণা চাই না, আমরা ভালোবাসা চাই, আমরা বাংলা ভাষা যাতে বেঁচে থাকে সেটা চাই।
ये जो बीजेपी सरकार है मोदी है, वो सिर्फ हिंदू और मुस्लिम दोनों का डिवाइडेड कर देता है, ठीक है। इससे तो नहीं होगा ना, देश तो आगे नहीं बढ़ेगा। हिंदू और मुस्लिम हम लोगों को देश जब स्वाधीन हुआ था सबका ही कंट्रीब्यूशन था, हिंदू या मुस्लिम बुद्ध जो भी बोलिएगा।
But Baj, when it splits like this, that can have a major effect on elections, right?
In the two regions or three regions that you mentioned where TMC does really well, the BJP doesn't do that well either. It gets low 30 numbers because the Congress and left pick up 10, 12. So actually, even if the Muslim vote splits a bit, it would need a rather large split, meaning the second Muslim party or third Muslim party would have to take a sizable chunk for them to lose
Because
ground there.
As it is so high, 75%.
Yeah, and it's 75% and they get over 50% of the total vote in these regions.
If I can just make a point about what Manish said, and I think we discussed it earlier. He was talking about how the import of the North Indian culture and Ram Navami into Bengal. And I will tell you that back in 2021, when the election results came out, after that Mamata Banerjee was so angry one day when she was passing through somewhere and some young men came and started shouting Jai Shri Ram at her. She was furious. She got down from her car and she sort of abused them. She was very, very angry. Jai Shri Ram at that time was a dirty word. I will say that the Trinamool has realized that's a bad tactic. And today, Trinamool leaders are out there wielding swords and celebrating Ram Navami. They also know they need the Hindu vote.
But I did notice that when they had a press conference, most of it was in Hindi, the BJP. And occasionally they would, even their slogans were more Hindi, then they started saying one or two Bengali slogans. But I talked to a lot of the supporters there and they said that's wrong, they should stick to Bengali because they're playing into the hands of...
So I think that's why, language, food, the TMC is using food to define what is a true Bengali fish. This whole thing that has erupted because the BJP, where it is in power, has stopped the sale of meat in certain areas in the state. And so they are using these cultural idioms to say that outsiders are coming in.